Replenish me. When I say that, what comes up for you? And when's the last time that you've done that? And where do you feel that in your body? Well, this is my invitation to you to explore the 4 steps of my Replenish Me program, where women learn how to release, restructure, refresh, and rebirth, showing up in the world being true to yourself. Only choosing words that honor your values and only allowing behaviors and people in your life who do the same. Connect with me by reaching out at bit.ly/replenish with love and explore Replenish Me. And now for tonight's show. Hello and welcome to the Free to Be show. I'm so excited to have a lovely guest here today. And before I introduce you to her, I will tell you a little bit about her. She is the founder of Accufigures, Inc. And she has her own DIY biz training center. She does websites, graphic design, and video editing. And she left corporate so that she could be free to be and show up in the world. Welcome to the show, Tameera Corporal.
All right. Thank you for the wonderful intro and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I think my heart leans towards you because we both have the accounting background, right? That was the
Yes.
first little chat we had. So it's always nice to run into my own kind.
Right. And it's so interesting to see how diverse we all are because we go from accounting and then we just go into all these different fields and all these different industries. And it's so interesting just to see what we're all doing.
Yeah, like who would think I'd go from numbers to like writing books, like total opposite.
Right,
So,
right.
and you with your website design and like total creative. So what's that about? Share the journey.
Well, honestly, I fell into it because I was being stubborn. I really did. What happened was when I decided to leave corporate after a 15 and a half year career of me basically being consistently disappointed and bored and miserable, I finally decided to do something about it besides sitting at my desk complaining. So I came out of corporate and I decided I wanted to write manuals for accountants that were either just starting out or seasoned accountants that had to step out for whatever reason and come back in so they can reacclimate themselves back into the accounting world before they actually sat at the desk. So I wrote those books and I wrote one for each discipline: accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, et cetera, et cetera. And I published them on Amazon Select. They were up for a few years. Well, during that time, I decided I wanted an app to go with it to kind of help them really get acclimated. The little flashcards and things like that. Nothing major, just a simple app to help them really deep dive and really solidify what I was teaching in my books. Well, I go out there, I start getting the quotes, and they're doing 10K and 12K and 20K, and they're rattling these numbers off like they're nothing. I'm sitting here like, I'm not making that kind of money off of these books. What am I going to do here? What am I going to do? I want this app. And now I feel like I'm being told I can't have the app. So I want it that much more. Now I need to have this app. So then I got to thinking, it can't be that hard to learn how to code, right?
Right.
I mean, I can give it a try. If it doesn't work out, cool, no problem. If it does work out though, then that can just be another stream of revenue for me. Cool. So I dig in, and it's hard. It's really hard. The numbers weren't a problem. It was just learning that new language. And as accountants, a lot of people feel like what we do is a foreign language. They don't understand, the balance sheet, the lingo, the debit and credit. They don't understand all that. But in code, it like takes that and puts it on steroids.
That's
It was
real
such
different.
a mindset shift that was required for me to even dig in and build something. But once I finished my trainings and I had those finished products, it just something just, I don't know, just opened up. I just felt like, oh, this is it. This is it. This is what I like to do. I really like to do this. So from there, that's how Accufigures got started. I learned how to code, and then I decided I was just going to build websites for the public to kind of bring in some revenue, and build apps for myself behind the scenes so I could start I could start selling in mass, with membership sites and so on and so forth. So that's how Accufigures was born.
Wow, that's super amazing. Like, I had myself on mute because I didn't want you to hear how high pitched that wow was. Well, that's really amazing though. See, look, and I always, because my husband, that's what he does, IT, right? So
Right.
I always look at him and I'm like, yeah, that's one language I don't think I'll ever learn. And so apparently now that I know that one of my people did, I know I could if I wanted to. But
That's
why?
right.
I don't have to because I met you.
It takes a lot of dedication. It just, oh man, you really have to buckle in and focus. But then too, on the flip side, you get some people that say, oh yeah, I picked it up and it was not a problem for me, but that's not everybody. Everybody has a different journey.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. So I love how you were so determined to get
Hmm.
what you wanted, right?
Right.
And you didn't let that stop you to the point that it created like a company for you, and another stream of revenue. So that's amazing. So how many years has it been now that you've started your business?
It'll be 5 years next month.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow.
They say when you really like what you do, it's no longer like work.
Yes.
And that is very true for what I do. I work, well, what people would consider working all the time. I'm always working on stuff, tinkering, building out stuff. I just enjoy it.
Yeah. That sounds amazing. And it sounds also like the books you wrote, kind of like when I first started writing books, like everyone these days, they want to be bestseller. I didn't want to be a bestseller. I wanted
Mm-mm.
people to use the information.
Exactly, exactly.
Read
And
my
that's how I feel. Everything I do, it needs to be useful to
Yeah.
someone. Even if it's not me, it needs to be useful, because if it's not useful, what is the point of me doing it?
Yeah. Well, that's really great. So we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about specifically who your target market is and 3 or 4 tips that can help them. All right, we'll be right back. All right, and so we're back with Tameera, and if you'll recall in the introduction, she is actually running 2 businesses, right? So we found
Yes.
out about Accufigures just now, and
Hmm.
she also has the DIY Biz Owner Training Center, and
Yes.
so that's what we're gonna dig into right now, and she's gonna tell us how that started and more tips on how she helps people. So
All right. Well, let's talk about how the DIY Biz Owner got started. The DIY Biz Owner Training Center got
okay.
started. Well, I've been helping customers build their web presence for 5 years. And I noticed with everyone, even the people that I was just consulting and I didn't take on as clients, they didn't have business systems in place. And there are a lot of reasons why, but the primary reason is most people think they don't need a business system, but you do. So what I did was I created the DIY Biz Owner Training Center to help consultants and service providers and e-commerce store owners build what they need to build to support their business goals. I noticed a lot of the business owners that I was working with, they didn't have any structure in place. It was just kind of like a free for all. And that is not the right way to run a profitable business. And you cannot scale that. That will not grow. You will get money in, but it'll be very sporadic. And you won't get the level of success you feel like you deserve.
Yeah, that's pretty common, and I'm
Yeah.
guessing like a lot of, well, yeah, definitely you're working with people on their web presence, so they're
Hmm.
mostly e-commerce people, and they kind of think, I'll just pop open my computer, build a website, and they'll come. And
Yes. Yes, or they think they can get they'll get a ClickFunnels or what's the other one? The other very popular one,
right.
Entreport, all those type of things. They think they'll just put something up on that and it'll work. But it's one thing to get the clients in. That's great. But once you get the clients in, you have to be able to support them. You get them through your process, but you also want them to come back. So what you want to do is you want to nurture long-term relationships with your customers so you can have a higher per client value. And that is done with business systems.
Wow, that's so true. And
Hmm.
see, so at your DIY training center, you help them create processes?
Yes.
Okay.
I help them create processes based on their unique business situation because processes aren't a one size fits all. And that's probably why you don't see a whole lot of people talking about it because it's not a one size fits all. It needs to be customized to your unique business situation. So the issue was I had to come up with a way to help people that are just starting out and are in a growth phase in their business to be able to put together these processes quickly and easily and in a manner that made sense to them.
Okay, so your ideal client for that part of that particular business are startups and growth phase. So like 1 to 3, 0 to 3 years. Is that it?
I would say not startups out of the gate
Okay.
because startups out of the gate, they're still going through the ebbs and flows and they're not sure what they want to do yet.
Okay.
And we all know when you're starting out a business, too many of the wrong moves and you're going to go right out of that business and go into something else.
Yeah.
Because, hey, I just started up, right? I mean, I haven't really invested a whole lot into it yet. But no, who I deal with are people that have been in business for anywhere from 2 to 5 years.
Okay.
And they're in, they are getting clients and it's just not consistent.
Okay.
They are making money. It's just not at the level that they want to be making money at. And a lot of that is due to the fact that they don't have support systems in place.
Okay. All right. So that makes me also think about how you originally started by writing these manuals. So is that part of it? Okay. Tell us about
I'm a natural teacher. I'm a natural teacher. However, the DIY Biz Training Center does not teach accounting.
I was going to ask that later, but okay.
We don't teach accounting. Well, I thought about it, but then I figured that's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
As a business owner, you really don't need to know accounting.
No.
And I would advise any small business owner to seek out a professional accountant.
Yes. Hire somebody.
I say it all the time. Even in my manuals, when it got to a certain point, I would say, hey, please refer to a professional accountant because it gets to a level where you need that level of support. You need someone that is educated in that particular area,
Yeah. Yeah. That
which
makes
is why I did this for the processes because who better to write the processes than the person who's actually doing them every day, right?
yes. 100%. Okay. I like that. So let's talk about you've got business owners coming to you who have been in business 2 to 5 years. They have this, bumpy revenue. What are like the top 3 struggles that you see and you help people with?
The top three struggles that I've seen in my experience is getting traffic,
Mhm.
which we all know that's everybody's struggle. It is having a clear and concise message because that's something that a lot of business owners struggle with. And they think their message is clear and it may be clear to them, just not clear to everyone else. And the third one is targeting the right people. And with all three of those, there's a ton of stuff on YouTube and there's a ton of stuff here and there that you can get. But what you have to understand about the free content that you're getting is your free content is there for quick results, meaning It's going to give you a result that you need, but it's not there for you to build strategies on for a long-term business strategy. So when you're trying to get that traffic in and you're trying to target that right audience, those two meet. Once you target the right audience, then you are going to get the traffic in.
Right.
A lot of times the problem is in the solution. Should I say the solution's in the problem? And targeting the right audience, that takes time, that takes testing. And when you're targeting your audience, you're also going to get other types of audiences that you weren't targeting, and that's okay too. The deal is, once you see what you're getting, then you need to start creating strategies for them as well.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I like that. So, see, when I'm listening to you, the thing I would think of first is like once they clarify their message, right? Then it would get the right target audience. But you can't really say the right things until you know who you're talking to.
Exactly. So that's where the research comes in. All of the other things aren't going to come into play until you research your audience. Once you research your audience, you're going to know what to say. That's going to help you clarify your message. And once you clarify your message and you get it out there, then your target audience is going to see it and they're going to gravitate towards it. And it's easier said, sitting here talking, it's a lot easier said than when you have to get out there and do it. And that makes the difference, because we can all go out there and just do some research, but what kind of research do you do? How do you do that research? That's the issue. How you do the research is what you're paying for. That's why when you're getting started in your business, you have to pay for some of these things. The free stuff is going to get you started, but it's not going to get you to your goals.
And the other part of that I'm hearing you say is like, even once you know what kind of research to do, when you collect the data, how do you decipher the data and what does that mean? And then how do you create the strategies to go with that? Is that what comes next?
That's exactly what comes next.
Yeah.
And when you are creating your strategies, you're going to need systems in place to support it. Like, it's one thing to create a strategy of, okay, I want to build an email list. Okay, that's your goal. I want to build an email list. Now that you have that business goal in place, now it's time to put a strategy behind it. So what does that strategy look like? And that's where we come in. We help you build out that strategy based on your research. But what if you haven't done any research? And we have a strategy for that too. Each research strategy is going to vary depending on which industry you are in. I would not approach a med spa research strategy the same way I would approach a gym, a fitness center strategy, research strategy. Those are two totally different ball games. They sound similar, and yes, there will be some overlap, but there will be some very distinct differences.
And I think the SIC codes are actually similar too, because they fall in that same kind of category. That always kind of threw me. I'm like, okay, a spa and a gym, really? But I digress. So I want to talk more about the data collecting piece, because the reason why I'm asking about this is one thing that tripped me up, because I thought I was collecting data, right? So I have like a Facebook group. And I'm going to bring this up because a lot of people have Facebook groups, and there's this cute thing that Facebook allows us to do. We can ask these 3 questions, right?
Yes.
And then we keep a spreadsheet with the answers, right? Or whatever we're using to collect data. And then we think we know what the language of our target audience, because we think we're asking the right questions. Is this something that you would look at for me? Would you look at what questions I'm asking and how to better ask those questions to really get the information I need?
Yeah. And I could give you guys some tips on that right now too. When you are asking those 3 questions, consider that a strategy. Consider it a strategy. And a lot of people I've noticed ask, what's your biggest struggle with? And I think we're all starting to get fatigued with that question. And I noticed at this point, it's like, obviously my struggle is with what is your group is about. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is redundancy. And we have to be very careful with that. We have to be careful with asking the same question different ways over and over again, expecting a different result. And we also have to be careful with implementing someone else's strategies into what we're trying to do, because they had one goal when they put together their questions. You may have a totally different goal. So the first step for me would be, what do I really want to know here?
Okay.
And maybe instead of asking, what is your biggest struggle? Maybe ask, let's see, we'll go with my group. For my group, business systems. Okay. Do you currently have a business system in place? You see how much more effective that question is than what's your biggest struggle?
Yeah, that's so broad. I wouldn't even know what to say. Like, what's my biggest struggle? But do I have a business system in place?
Yes or
I think
no?
I do. Yes.
Right. Yes or no?
Yes.
And now that puts you in a category as far as my marketing is concerned. You're going either on this side or this side. And now we can go a little bit deeper, because I still have 2 more questions. One of those questions needs to be what? Your email address. Why? Because I can't get to know you further if I can't get your email. And pro tip there, when you're asking for the email, give them a link to get access. Like, if you put your email in, we will send you a link to something free as a thank you. But only offer that free thing for that particular exercise. Don't make it the same thing they stumbling around online. Make it something that's specific to that group.
Okay.
So we got 2 questions out of the way. And so far, those 2 questions have helped me tremendously. I'm building my list, and I got the primary question I need to know answered, because now I know how to approach you. Now I know you're either a beginner or you're seasoned, and I have services for you, as opposed to just a bunch of free stuff, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, your second question, what do we want that to be? For my particular example, I would make that second question something along the lines of, how long have you been in business? And the reason why I ask that is that's kind of a cross-reference question for me, because like I said, I only deal with business owners that have been in business 3 to 5 years, who are past the startup phase and are in the growth phase.
Okay.
Now, you may not have understood what I meant by, do you have a business system? See what I'm saying? You may not have even understood what I was saying there, and you answered yeah, because you think in your mind you have a business system. But have you been in business for this amount of time? Because that will tell me whether or not you do have some business systems in place, because you're not going to be in business for 3 to 5 years and you don't have something at least that you're adhering to deliver your products and services.
Right.
See what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
And for some people, that won't make sense. But from a marketing standpoint, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Wow. That is so, language is super important. And I notice, like, the more specific I am with questions,
Yes.
the more I can really focus in on what my expected outcome can be, right?
Right.
So I like that. And this is something so simple. It's such an easy way, because I remember I was in some mastermind group a couple of years ago, and it was suggested that we do market research and make a survey on SurveyMonkey. And I was just like, oh no, I don't have time for that. So I was like, I'm gonna just make a Facebook group, and I'm gonna ask these 3 questions. And I tested the questions. So I changed them like almost every month.
Yes.
And then the other market research I did was I did different challenges, right?
Oh, that's a good one.
Right? Just to see what kind of products really resonate with people. Man, we did all kinds of like random, like from eating healthy to like exercise to mindset, just all and the ones that were well attended, I took note of that. the
Right.
titles for that and stuff like that. So those are some other ways that I've played around with my Facebook group. I've changed the name of my Facebook group, and just to see who comes in, right? So
Right.
when I had the stress-free sisterhood, I got a bunch of whiners. So
Isn't that something?
yes, I was like, because like when I think of stress-free, I don't think about that. But so when
Right.
I changed it to calm the chaos, I got a different kind of whiner, but they were more like looking for solutions, right?
Right.
So yeah, yeah. So those are kind of some of the ways. And if I go back and look at my spreadsheets, so I've kept spreadsheets, and the language changes for their answers to the 3 questions, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how much of a whiner you are, or a solution finder you are. And yeah, so
Yeah, it's interesting when you get out and you start doing market research, because I'm honestly, everything that I assumed, like 90% of the time, I was wrong,
yes.
because you just feel like, this makes sense. They're going to like this. This is going to be perfect. And then you put it out there and it's just like, and then you put something you don't like out there and everybody's like, oh, this was so great. You're like,
Really?
yes.
But see, so now you've done this for all these different businesses. So you've got like the master list of strategies and like what to do and everything. So
Well, I'm going to share my ultra super mega power secret: testing. That's it. Test it. Test it. You think you're right, but when you get out there and start testing stuff, the thing you thought wasn't all that great may perform better than the thing you have out there that's kicking butt right now. Test it. It's not about you. It's not about your emotions. It's not about your thoughts. It's all about what your audience wants.
yeah.
And that's not always going to be the same thing. Sometimes you will click. Sometimes what you thought was going to be great is going to go out there and just blow it up. And then other times,
But I have a question about that, because for people like me, we're all in the I want to be aligned with my message and with my clients, right? And you just blew that out the water.
I'm a realist, and I'm humble enough to understand that I'm going with what my audience wants.
Yeah.
Sometimes it hurts my feelings because sometimes I spend a lot of time on this stuff. I mean, some of these things I've like poured into it. Like I really felt like this was the thing.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, I just understand, hey, if my audience likes it, I love it. What is my audience like? I think my audience likes this, so I'm gonna throw that out there. I don't really like this, but I'm gonna throw that out there anyway, just to make sure my audience doesn't like it, because it's not about what I like, it's about what my audience likes. So when I'm breaking in a new account, you will go out there and you will see all kinds of different types of content, and you'll see it. You'll see the things written differently, because I'm testing. I do A/B testing a lot. I have no qualms with it.
So I guess if I were to summarize what you just said, the most important thing is testing, and that is going to require you to be free from your ego.
I know it's a hard one. I know it's hard, because I know we all in our mind think that we know better than what they know that they need. But at the end of the day, it's about what they want. It's about what they decide they like, not about you.
Yeah, I like that.
It took me 3 years to understand that.
Jeez.
Yep, some of us are hard-headed.
I mean, me too. It took me about 3 years to say. I know. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for that. And so I guess in summary, growth phase, entrepreneurs, 3 to 5 years in business, that need strategies to test the market and really free up for their ego. So in this last piece,
Yep, and one more thing too.
Oh, tell me. Okay.
You're going to work hard. It's not going to be easy. Those late nights and early mornings are a real thing. I like to be as transparent as possible. I talk to people all the time that come to me and think they're going to get some magic bullet secret, and that's not it. Everything you see, the people that are really making that massive amount of money, even if they're selling you something that is supposed to make things easier for you, it still took them weeks, months, and years to put that stuff together of hard work. But that's what I wanted everybody to understand. It's not easy.
Well, I mean, the good news is, though, right? Working with you, the hard work is going to be focused, unlike the hard work they were doing before they came to you.
Yeah, they'll get results from the hard work. Because see,
Yeah.
it's one thing to work hard and you're not getting any results, which is what we all generally do the first couple years in business.
Yep.
We work ourselves darn near to death, and we hardly get like much of a result. But that's because we're doing a lot of hard work on things that don't matter. But we don't know that they don't matter because we're not talking to people that have already been there.
Yeah.
We still think we know what we're doing. And that's the first hurdle. Once you are ready to admit to yourself that I really don't know what I'm doing too tough like I think I am, that's your first step. Then the second step is working with somebody that's going to be honest and straightforward with you. I don't pull punches and I don't play games.
Yeah.
I'm very straightforward. And I think I got that from accounting.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt.
Because in accounting, if you say the wrong thing, oh, geez.
Yeah. And don't work in a law firm and do the numbers. Then it's like a whole different level of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. And when I worked for the law firm I worked for, I ended up being I ended up a witness a lot. And I was there supposedly as a full charge.
Wow.
But I was doing all those other things in addition too. So it was interesting.
Yeah.
That was an interesting job.
They always need a scapegoat. So gotta be good with the documentation. But anyway, we'll be right back in a minute. And we're going to wrap this all up and we'll find out ways to connect directly with Tameera and how you can benefit from working with her. And we're back. So it's so awesome having you here.
Thank you.
I know you can benefit so many people. We were clearly having a really good laugh in between the break there. Anyway, so how can people find you, and what do you have coming up?
All right, guys. Today, I'm really excited to announce that we do have a challenge. And our challenge is a 7-day intensive to help you guys get these processes built. Understand what a process is, what a business system is, how it's going to benefit your particular company. And this is, again, if you are in the growth phase. And that means you're still kind of fiddling around. You kind of have people coming in, but not really. You're still getting stood up on your consultation calls. Yeah, this is for you guys. So to find that challenge and to learn more about it, I want you guys to go out to my website and check it out. And that website is the word go, like go right now, go.diybizowner.com/challenge. And guys, on that page, you will learn more about everything that the challenge will do for you. And you will be able to learn more about me and sign up for the challenge. Guys, this challenge is free for right now. I'm not sure how much longer it will be free. So you want to go ahead and take advantage of it and get out there today.
Okay, so I have go.diybizowner.com/challenge. Okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll put that underneath this recording and the promo. And
Awesome.
It's been so great having you here. And if I knew that people would actually listen to a longer podcast, I would record a lot more of us talking together, but I'm going to keep all the good, funny stuff to myself.
Awesome. I appreciate it. And I want to thank you for having me on and talking to me this morning. It's been so much fun. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
You do have that open invitation to hang out on the beach. So I'll take you up on that too.
Yes, you need to come do that. I'm telling you, it's a world of wonders. You'll feel 1,000 times better. It's like it recharges your battery. It's just amazing.
I know it does. So, and thank you, listeners and viewers, for joining us today on the Free to Be show with Tameera Corporal, owner of Accufigures and DIY Biz Owner Training Center. And go check her out. You heard all the golden nuggets and all the aha moments and the now I know why that stuff isn't working moments. So just go and do yourself a favor and join that challenge. All right. Thank you so much and good night.
All right. Thank you. See you guys in the challenge.
Cordelia Gaffar. So the purpose of the show really is to give you tools and tips to go on that journey of being free to be yourself. Anything that you enjoyed or you found beneficial, make note of it. Start implementing it. See what it actually feels like to do that. And reach out to me and let me know how you come along with that. Most importantly, if it works for you,